What's up, my friends? How you doing? Welcome back. This here is one handsome Bronco, if I could say so myself. Let me give you a little tour and we'll get into the details. It is a 1968 and it's Icon Bronco number 106. It's built in the old school style with this ever increasing in popularity tritone paint. Sort of little special thing we've been doing for people lately. It's inspired by one of the original packages, but none of the colors, well, the Wimbledon white is stock. Everything else we totally made up. And it's not stickers like the factory. This is all hand painted and it's underneath the clear coat. This blue, can't beat blue really. Timeless color, non-metallic. Got kind of like a smoky jelly bean thing going on. Of course, it being an old school, all the trim in the front is very stock. This guy did the chrome package, so it has the chrome details on the doors as well as the headlight bezels and the grille isolation, which again, Wimbledon white. This is something I'd like to see people do more of, where we do the painted bumpers instead of the chrome bumpers. I think the majority of the original trucks were delivered that way, and I don't know, it's more retro. I kind of dig it. We did do a hard top, which you can see in these here pretty pictures, but today for this shoot, it's such a gorgeous day, I figured best to show it off with our bikini top. The bikini top in the case of this truck is done in a dark Mercedes brown color, tobacco, and it's black on the inside just by nature of the insulation layers. So again, that's 7 layers, so it's super tight. It's 3M Velcro, it's cinched everywhere. We have these machined support bars that connect the cage to the windshield frame and give the bikini top a nice place to sit. So that really keeps it from flapping around and it just sits nice, proper, tailored. As is becoming more and more popular, this client decided to go with our new school aerospace sun visors. This is found in Lear jets and private aircraft all over the planet. He did the power windows. He did the power door locks. As always with the power windows, we design them to look like the original analog windows, but you simply tap down for down and you simply tap up for up. Then, if you double tap all up or all down, little nifty gizmo. We're the first to pull that off. We wrote our own code and did an Arduino on this circuit. Upholstery, kind of a cool story. This beautiful top grain leather, no embossing, no stamping, very minimal processing. So our friends at Moore and Giles Leather, a big supplier we work with in Virginia, they met a local rancher and they said, well, what do you do with your hides? Because obviously he's raising cattle for steaks. He says, well, I don't really have enough, so no one wants them, so we pay someone to take them to the dump. So then Moore and Giles started looking into it, and they realized this is a thing. If you're not a big rancher, no one wants to bother picking up your hides. So all leather is a byproduct of the meat industry, so until people stop eating meat, and I'll never be on that list, there's gonna be that yield. So despite this BS cactus leather and mushroom leather, it's all petroleum-based substrates. It's a total lie. So Moore and Giles figured out how to get a whole bunch of ranchers together so that they could process those hides, take them all the way through to blue crust, and then in partnership with a full house tannery, then they tan it up. For me, I love the story. I love the texture and the tone of it, and the grain is just super sexy. And it pairs nice with out inserts. We did our vertical pleat layout on this one. We switched that around a little bit, but that's pretty much standard fare for the old schools. For the audio system on this truck, the client did our elevated audio. So that means you get the Pioneer NEX head unit, you get reverse camera, you get focal K2 speakers with separates, you get navigation, you get tethered and tetherless CarPlay, Bluetooth, AM, FM, CD, satellite radio, and pretty much everything you're gonna need. Of course, amplifier and bass. You'll notice this dash looks sort of extra classic. Me and the client decided not to opt for the ever popular Wimbledon white dash, but to go a little bit more, I don't even know what the word is, but there's something kind of classy about using the blue through the interior. So we continued that decision through to painting the early style 2-spoke steering wheel and the tilt column in the same body blue. Rest of the dash is straightforward, typical old school icon fare. So our own gauge design made by our friends at Dakota Digital. The column clamp, everyone in the industry uses those horrible made in China plastic ones. We unnecessarily geek out and powder coat aluminum ones that we machine. You know what, I'm gonna take that back. It's not unnecessary, because when and if at some point the client touches that, it's gonna be like, oh wow. And hopefully he or she will notice the difference. You've got the Uniball machined aluminum in-dash AC vents. We have the new and improved vintage air, the V5, so it's the latest and greatest. So it's running a Spall fan without magnets, continuous speed adjustment, 30% more output than the previous version. And then these dash knobs, of course, we machine all these, so they appear to be stock Ford units, but they're not. So obviously our whole electrical system is all modern electronics, our design, and the same with the switches, but we wanted to keep this retro vibe, but the stock ones were plastic. So now these are all machined in aluminum and chrome. You've got lights, wipers, washers, fan, vent, and temp. For the flooring on this truck, we used the scrap leather, and we bound the Hargarten square weave oatmeal color tone, which is this sort of pebbly tan and cream situation, but it keeps the interior nice and light and bright. Oh, I don't know if I pointed these out yet. Check out our sill guards. So we used to use the aftermarket ones that are out there that everyone else uses, but they really don't fit that well. They're too thick. They scratch the inside bottom of the doors sometimes. So we asked the manufacturer, hey, could you make those a little bit skinnier? And they said, nah. So we make our own now. So we do our icon script on those and enamel infill it, and just a little detail. Seat hardware, of course, all machined aluminum, no plastic to be found. French stitch on all the interior stitching. You'll notice, perhaps, the astute viewer will notice, usually on an old school, we do a different tone on the interior powder coated trim, but it just didn't look right on this leather. So we did this special brown finish. It's very similar to, what do we call it? Sierra, which is one of the FJ colors, but it's actually a different powder. Back seat, client opted for the tuck and tumble removable 2-passenger rear seat. Obviously the door and cargo panels all have the lit chrome spears, 2-stage of lighting, so at night it's very low output, ambient, but when you open your doors, it fires up full bright along with the dome light on the roll cage. All these floor mats are removable to reveal the heat-cured polyurea coated floor. You're less likely to see that on the underside of the body. After the body has had all metalwork done and heating and shrinking and welding, we powder coat the entire body assembly. Then we use conventional paint. Then we heat cure polyurea upon the bottom side of the fender and full body tub, as well as in the inside floors. So it helps a little bit with noise, heat, and vibration transfer, but it's really about rust protection. It's a really good comprehensive coating. In the rear of the cargo, you'll notice our 5,000-pound rated tie-down hooks for cargo. Center console on this truck, client had us outfitted with dual cup holders, so you've got the front one that's always there, and then we added the second one on the back. Of course, the rear view mirror, like in all icons, same supplier that Tesla, BMW, and a lot of OEMs use. They do us a favor by selling to little old us, but it is auto dimming, and it also, if you need to program for your like HomeLink, your garage door, stuff like that, you can do it. But really good visibility, and this automatic self-dimming is just, it's really a subtle game changer. But it's not flashy, it blends right in and keeps the retro authenticity. Mechanically, we're featuring the 5-liter aluminum fuel-injected V8 known as the Coyote. So that's from the current production Mustang GT. For transmissions on this one, we're running our special recipe AOD 4-speed automatic with overdrive, which is sending power through to the Atlas 2 twin-stick shift-on-the-fly 2-speed part-time 4-wheel drive transfer case. 1310 U-joints, down JE reel drive shafts to Curry Industry axles. Rear axle is our beloved high pinion. Everything is new down to the castings. Everything is absolute best of the best that is commercially available. Then we have the optional ARB locking differentials in that rear axle, as well as in the front axle, which is Dana 44 based architecture, fine spline axles, high pinion. Icon sport brakes developed by our buddies at Brembo with a hydro boost assist system. Works out really nice. Can never have too much braking power. So they make this heavy 2-ton beast stop on a literal dime. It's quite a good confidence building feeling. For suspension on this one, we are running the ever so popular, almost getting to the point that it's standard equipment, the sport suspension. So we have 2.5-inch body, 12-inch shaft, Fox Racing shocks with remote canisters, nitrogen charged. And then those canisters have 2 little knobby thingamajiggers on them that you can use to adjust the high speed and low speed rebound rates. You can further adjust the suspension by tuning the front and rear sway bars. Of course, power steering, they always have that. Not much to talk about there. All 3/4 ton and 1 ton joints and ends and arms. Super stout. Our beloved Art Morrison engineered chassis. We developed that in partnership with Art many years ago. We love them. They just do such great work. They have no peers in the industry. And this chassis is only available under your Icon. We do not retail them. And it's mandrel bent rails, not 4 planes of sheet metal, laser, or plasma cut together. I do not understand why so many chassis shops do that, other than the often prohibitive costs of a proper mandrel. So, enough complaining about others, but just know it's the best way to go, and Art's the best people to do it with. We powder coat that chassis. It's got a zinc-rich epoxy base primer powder coat on it first, and then the black color coat. Fuel tank is also powder coated. It's approximately 21 gallons, features an in-tank pump, sump, baffles, and an external Bosch fuel filter for ease of maintenance. The exhaust system is done by our good friends here in Southern California from Borla. Borla really makes a top quality product, and we're blessed to be close to their low volume prototyping studio in Oxnard, California, where they sneak in all of our production work. The particular exhaust that's on this one is our restrained exhaust, because the Coyote is just yeehaw loud no matter what you do. But you'll notice this secondary resonator, muffler, baffler, whatever the heck you want to call it, tucked into the rear here, and that helps tame the tone a bit. These are all mandrel bent. They're all food grade stainless steel all the way through to the headers, high quality. In fact, the only thing that isn't stainless on them, we add catalytic converters. They're titanium. Please forgive us. We also have the Icon rear tire carrier assembly. The stock ones are a complete train wreck. They mounted on this side, which impeded your rear visibility, and they rattle and rattle and rattle incessantly, and the burden of the weight of the rim and tire and the carrier is all placed upon the body, which wreaks havoc on the bodies over the years. So that's what led us to design our own. We retail these assemblies on the website. They're super stout. They're made here in California. You have our famous and ever so convenient aluminum ramp. So once you open the latch, comes out, index is there, keeps the tire from going down, getting too far out into traffic, but keeps it just far out enough that it doesn't hit your tailgate when you drop your tailgate. Who would have thunk? It is knurled and fluted, therefore greasable. It's got the optional reverse light mounted upon it, And again, in this case, we did the Wimbledon white painted bumper. Also carried that Wimbledon white through to the old school 18-inch forged aluminum wheels with old school, and I mean old school, 49 to 51 Ford hubcaps. We stuck with the Wimbledon for the cage. We did the Viair underbody air compressor for rapid tire inflation. This one's got some beach missions in its future. There's, of course, the ARB compressor. It's great for the diffs, but it sucks for tires. So the Viair is a massive upgrade. I think that's probably enough. As always, me and my whole team at Icon really appreciate it when you guys take a couple minutes out of your day to watch our videos. It's an honor to build them, and we're really lucky to be able to call this a job. It's not really a job, but it employs a lot of families and allows us all to be really proud of what we do. So again, thanks for your attention. Be kind to yourselves, be kind to others, and we will see you on the next one.